Hi there, my name is Joe Bird, aka Xavier Justice, the founder and head coach at Pure Pro Wrestling. Now, for over 20 years, I've spent time as a professional wrestler, a trainer, and a coach. So I wanted to drop some words of wisdom for those that are aspiring to become professional wrestlers. It's really important that when you start your journey, you set goals for yourself. And I'll go one step further, and you should be setting expectations for yourself. Now, as you go to figure out what your goals and expectations are, you need to be very realistic about what your output is going to be. Because if you have lofty goals and high expectations, then your output needs to meet what those goals and expectations are. In short, if you want the reward, you have to be willing to put the work in. Now, I've coached a lot of different youth sports in my lifetime. I've been a baseball coach, wrestling coach, football coach, and athletes are a little bit different of a breed. They're a little easier to motivate, they're willing to put the work in, and they're used to being coached and corrected and criticized. Professional wrestlers are often a different breed. A lot of the wrestlers you see today did not necessarily come from athletic backgrounds. Therefore, it's a little bit more challenging for those people to find their work ethic and find the consistency and drive to continue to put in that work that they need to reach their goals and outputs. Now, professional wrestling is sort of strange in the respect that I would say at least 75% of all the independent wrestlers right now in the country, and that might be a bold number, I don't have actual statistical proof, but I'm just going to make an assumption that 65, 75% of most active independent professional wrestlers do not actually go to training. They do no practice in between their matches. And to me, that's just insane. If you told an athlete that they were only going to play games without practicing, then they wouldn't know what to do. They obviously would not play at their full capacity, and a lot of those games would be pretty messy to watch. Same thing goes for musicians or other entertainers. Could you imagine only taking movies, showing up without practicing the script, and then trying to deliver a great scene? It's going to be nearly impossible. If you're a musician and you want to have a great concert, could you imagine stepping on stage and trying to play all of those songs without ever practicing them? It'd be almost impossible. But for some reason, in the world of professional wrestling, there's a lot of men and women right now in our industry that think it's okay to not go to practice, to not consistently work on their craft. And here's why that's really bad. For one, you're not putting your best self in the ring. So if you're only doing gigs, the best version of yourself is absolutely not going to be out there. Even high-level pros are susceptible to ring rust. Randy Orton is a great example. Randy Orton recently just got back from an injury, and prior to coming back on TV, he spent several months preparing himself both inside and outside of the ring to make his return to television so that he would be at top form. I'll go one step further. The Rock, while preparing for his last big match on pay-per-view, he trained for almost a year to make sure that he was the same Rock we knew and loved from all those years ago. And here we are, a bunch of young 20s and 30s who want to call themselves professional wrestlers, and yet they don't want to put in the work necessary to earn that title. So one, you're not going to put your best self out there. Two, if you're not putting your best self out there, that means your partner is going to suffer and have to carry you. And that should not be something that you ever have to ask anybody to do. You should be able to trust that both people that are in that ring are in their top form so that they could give the best possible showing imaginable. The other thing is, you're going to risk blowing spots. You're going to risk looking sloppy. And at the end of the day, the promoter's going to suffer for it. The fans are going to suffer for it. And people that are often working hard are going to be left out on opportunities in exchange for somebody who's really not working hard at all. And the last thing why you don't want to be one of those people that does not go to the ring and train and prepare for your shows in between bookings is because, quite frankly, you are literally risking injury to yourself, but more importantly, you're risking injuring your partner who is quite literally trusting you with their very life. So if you're going to be in the world of professional wrestling and you want to take bookings and you want to travel around and you want to work your way to the upper levels of independent wrestling and hopefully one day find your way onto television, maybe even having a nice contract, The only way to get there is through hard work and dedication and honing your craft. A lot of the pros that you see on TV have been doing this for a decade or more. And I can assure you, the highest level pros do not sit on their butt. They do not skip the gym. They do not skip good health and nutrition. They work their butts off because their expectations met their output. So if you have lofty goals, start getting your butt to work now. This is Xavier Justice signing off. We'll see you at ringside.